Good morning, Mr. Thomas. So today's question is, can you describe your approach to team collaboration?
Yeah, thank you, Lavanya. Good morning. See, with respect to team collaboration, what happens is when we develop a software, if the software project is quite small, usually one team member works on it. And that team member would be a full stack developer. That is, the team member would take care of the front end, back end, database, everything, all the logic. And one single team member can maybe work on the project for 1 or 2 months and complete the entire project. But in many cases, when the project is quite large and there is a very strict timeline of customer needs the project in, let's say, 2 months or 4 months, one single developer might not be able to, work on the entire project. So what happens is we usually have to divide the entire scope, the entire project among multiple team members. So let us take the example of just two team members. Okay, let us not take many like 10 or 20 team members, just two team members. So what usually we do is we allocate the front end development to one team member and the back end development to another team member. So typically that's how the division happens. So what happens is the same software which is supposed to do one particular activity or meet a particular objective for the client will be developed by two people. So it becomes extremely crucial that there is a proper communication and collaboration between these two team members while creating the software, so that the ultimate output is good and the customer ends up using it and it's useful for the customer. So to take care of this, what we do is the first thing is when we do the scope study or after the requirement gathering is done and the scope is created and we've received the project from the customer, we take the entire scope and we divide the elements among the team members. So if it's a front end and a back end, then it becomes easy because we just have to probably replicate whatever is the front end items in the scope and give it to the front end developer. And whatever is written, almost everything will also come to the back end because it's the same modules that the back end developer will be working on. So what we do internally is in our own internally created project management tool, we divide the scope clearly between both the developers and we upload the scope of each of the developers respectively. So when that developer is working on the scope, they know exactly what are they working on. Are they working on the front end or the back end? What are the, like for the front end developer, it will be, let's say, form creation or design elements, whereas the backend developers work would be database structure or API creation or a program logic creation. So this division is very clearly mentioned in the scoping itself, in the way they work on it every single day. And apart from this, what we do is we encourage our team members to have a daily stand-up meeting among themselves. And there is a weekly review meeting that happens with their growth leader. You know, in Rejola, we have growth leader concept. So a growth leader has a weekly review with them to see if every aspect of the development is being communicated correctly, if the client is whatever input has been given has been considered with both the developers correctly, or it could be more than two developers. I'm just taking two as an example. And the development progress of each team member is updated on a regular basis. You know, in our internal tool, they update on a regular basis, and we can correlate, how the backend development is happening, how the front end development is happening. And another thing that we do for team collaboration is whenever there is a client meeting happening, it is not just one the team member who joins a client meeting. We ensure that the entire team joins. Even if there are 6 people working on a project, we encourage all of the 6 people to work to join the meeting, though it might be only one person who may lead the meeting, but we make the entire team to join the team in the meeting with the client so that they understand what is happening, they understand the information being shared, and there are no communication gaps. The biggest fail or the reason why such teams fail is because there is not proper communication happening and proper information being shared, facts being shared. And because of that, the team members are kept in dark and there is no proper correlation or collaboration that happens. And we also have another system where the growth leader gives a rating to his team member on a regular basis. And they evaluate on various parameters that we have to see which parameter the team member needs to work on. For example, the team member might be a superstar in terms of coding, but they may not be very good in terms of communication. So the growth leader would coach them, would have sessions with them to help them improve on communication. So this is another activity that we ensure, we take up inside our organization to ensure, and we also call it as improve to grow. That is one of the ways in which our growth leaders continuously help the team members to improve what they are doing in certain areas so that they can keep growing. So various steps like this, we ensure we take so that the team collaboration happens correctly, the development progresses correctly, and the customer is kept delighted all through the engagement. So this is how we do it. Thank you, Lavanya. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.